They'll be calling you a radical, no rest for the weary. I never seen so much news break in a 24-hour period in my life. But first and foremost, right to it. You know, I'll get to the John Lennon letter. Wow, oh my God, wow. You know, the globalist royals, but it's San Onofre. This is important. This is so great, so exciting. Tomorrow morning at 10:30 at San Onofre, they're going to do an incredible ceremony with the Dakota. You know, the Dakota and all the indigenous people and all the groups from Southern California around are going to gather at San Onofre on the beach. Now, I'm going to try to find me a cheap plane ticket to fly down early in the morning. You know, and I'll just do a quick turnaround, which I've done many times in my life. It's only an hour flight to San Diego and then. But if I'm not there, our post-ignorance nation will be there. We will be there. We will video it. We'll have it. I'm very excited about this. The so-called not on the fucking beach, you know. It's, I mean, as everything's going around, the individual fights that are being fought. So, to the John Lennon letter, I think is, wow, that it was found in a box. So, you know my rant about anti-neo-Yoko Dadaism, nude descending down staircase, purple nude found down an elevator. You know my gig, you know, is the whole art movement is the darling Yoko. She's a she's a royal, she's a monarchy. So, stand up to the monarchy, this globalist new world order, when it's the oldest thing in human history. Old is new, black is white, up is fucking down, place coming unhinged. So, and I'll get to the RT story and that TASS had, I mean, there's layer on layer of stories that are breaking. So, this letter appears, he wrote this to the Queen, you know, she gave him all these awards, you know, let's be Sir Paul, let it be, all these Sir Knighted. He was like, no, fuck you, and he wrote this letter to her and threw it right back in her face, right before he was killed. Holy fuck, wow. Imagine that, you know, as I did that work with, you know, Eric Oppenheimer, Dennis Oppenheimer, the great artist there, you know, we did all that work. I didn't know who he was. He just showed up when we did our physical graffiti gig, you know, and I didn't know who he was. And then we did all that powerful work. We did the work inside the museums, at the museums, really historic stuff, amazing. And so, wow. So now to RT. This is important. All million mask marchers, all hands on. Remember last year, I'm in New York. And I'm like, I got a tip to stay out of D.C. A guy told me, you know, I'm organized with some really great activists. And for years and years. He says, don't go. Your life's in danger, Kevin. And so I stayed in New York, and I'm glad I did, because that movement was so powerful. We snuck around. We tricked RT. Vice. We tricked everybody. Fox News. I mean, some of those great activists. But so I reported that the guy who founded RT, now remember, RT's the only one that will cover us on this, the Million Mass March. They do great coverage with us. They're the ones that interview us, whatever. So this is Putin's information. It's our TASS, the Soviet-run freaking agencies. You know, Google. You know, now who's the TASS now? NBC, CBS, ABC. You know, so he's the guy. He's the information freaking czar. He's the guy. He dies on, remember, the 5th of November. Can't make in Washington, D.C. Now, remember I did this. Do not believe them. He just had a heart attack. He's only, you know, he's young. Boom, don't believe him. Now, this tells you how the light is in me. And people don't believe that the light is in me. This morning I'm doing those videos and I thought, well, I got to do one on Mr. Son of a Bitch, I splashed the fucking pot, you know. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. And then something just says, just do it. And I talk about this in the video. I had no fucking clue. No clue this investigation was even due out. First thing I get on NPR of all people reporting this morning. I'm like, oh my God, you can't make it up. They've changed the death certificate. Just like I said, no heart attack. They just lied and made it all up. Isn't that what they do? They did the same thing with Prince, by the way. Now they've come back out when nobody's paying attention and watching, say, oh no, it was a doctor's mistake that killed him. He was not all on these drugs and whatever. You know, they put out the narrative and then, you know, remember Jessica Lynch, remember Pat Tillman, remember he has weapons of mass destruction. You remember, that's how they do. They throw out the narrative, then tell you the truth later. So I'm like, oh my God. Blunt trauma to the head. Oh, he was just on a 5-day drunken bender. Why would he be in D.C.? And then NPR of all people are reporting that there was a CIA investigation going to, you know, wow, talk about the light being in me. Holy fuck. Wow. So You know, I'm flying United, the doors fall off those pieces of shit. And at LaGuardia, I get there the first, and I've been on some hairy ass rides at LaGuardia, pants, woohoo. I mean, that's in the fucking mud. That's some crazy shit. There's so much of brew and so much going on right now. Of course, you know, Humma, who's related to the freaking Saudi royal family, as, you know, Prince Di Baby cries, you know, Obama's standing in Saudi Arabia, the good team player, saying, do not sue, and only 3 senators voted against it. Well, it didn't show. Tim Kaine, Bernie Sanders, you know, as I'm at the Bernie Sanders, they're all, yay, Bernie. You could see me. Hey, Bernie, what about Fukushima? What about Fukushima? What about Fukushima? And they, right in the crowd, ooh, stop that, shut up, be nice, self-free presses, yay, Bernie, yay, yay. This is grown men and children, you know, yay, Bernie, yay. Now, revolution over, now get the fuck off my lawn. You know, that's Cindy Sheehan come up with that, it's brilliant. So, I mean, so much of brew, you know. So Bernie didn't freaking show to vote. Tim Kaine didn't show to fucking vote. And oh, Harry fucking Reid. Ha ha! That fucking rat. I mean, my God. You know, so now it's Wiener Boy, you know, and they're like, how come Humma didn't divorce him before all this sexting, texting? You know, this was the darling, you know, Wiener Boy, because these are arranged marriages, just like Bubba and Bill. Rockefeller's baby, Russell's baby, no, Rosemary's baby, Russell's baby. So, she don't give a fuck, you know, this is all power structure. I mean, this is the old Soviet Union. You know, remember the old Soviet Union? We must fight off the Americans. You give us all your money for military. Well, we got everything. Let the infrastructure go to fuck. All our fucking money. Sound familiar? Washington D.C.'s exploded. Military fucking industrial complex gone amok. The perpetual war machine is bankrupting this country. This country is so fucking wiped out and fucking broke. I mean, it's gone. I mean, this place is fucking unraveling. Now, Clinton, God, hey, look, I mean, the whole fucking dynamic, I mean, my God, look at the candidates we have. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And you know who I voted? I already voted. I voted early. You know who I voted for? Robin Hood. I wrote in Robin Hood. You know my candidate, Robin Hood. So I'll be in New York. So hopefully I can catch a flight early in the morning, then catch a ride with Peter, because I want to go. And so everybody in Southern California, you know, what an opportunity. It'll be fantastic. And like I told Peter, it will do so much for your spirit and your soul, because I've been to these events before, and it is life. I mean, it will do so much for you personally, as and your family and your life and your fight, not to mention for all living things. I mean, I've been to these. These things are powerful, and they rarely do them. You know, the White Buffalo ceremony they did in New York, you know, these are powerful events, and because they know how important this is. This will be fantastic, you know, so show up, and then, you know, we're waiting for the ruling on the appellate court, which should come any day. And then I'll set up shop in San Diego, and, you know, we'll be at the trial every day, because I've been there from the very beginning. The first kid that, you know, when they filed the motion, I've been there even before that. I've had the Hillary emails from the beginning. I know what happens. Nobody wants to hear it from me, you know, but there's so much fucking happening right now. Type A. I mean, what a big story. So the whole world's banned all produce coming to Fukushima, so we get American propaganda. Ooh, sake at Davos, fucking Fukushima beer, Fukushima apples, Fukushima this, Fukushima that. Well, Hillary Clinton's the only one that went to Fukushima and fucking blocked it, you know. Barry Antoinette stood on the White House lawn, let them eat yellow cake. The rest of the world banned the shit. So there's been a lot of pressure. So the, you know, food minister type A, they're meeting tomorrow. And they says, well, obvious there's a lot of pressure to lift the sanctions, start letting it come back in. And, you know, he said straight up, are you kidding? No, it's not. I'm not even going to discuss it. I'm not going to compromise my people. Now think about this. In China, they're protesting. Hundreds of people show up. They're chanting, we know about Fukushima, get your nuclear waste out of here. In Taipei, in Taiwan, you know, in South Korea, freaking all over the world, just freaking Friday. And what are we doing? In New York, we're just 7.6 billion. Ralph Nader comes out after the fact, says just what I said would happen when I was in New York in the heat of the summer. In the heat of the summer, they snuck it through. Why no one was watching? I was watching. I reported it, bank bell out on chemo, hands up, don't, and it doesn't matter how many views who are teeny small, but we record in history, because these are historical things, gigantic. I mean, it's all or nothing for them right now. The nuclear industry's over without these incredible subsidy, which, you know, something we don't use. Talk about glass ceilings. Hillary says she's gonna have a glass ceiling. I'll tell you, the glass ceiling we need to break through is in California. They're producing 120% more solar energy a day, more energy, period, than they use. And it takes more electricity to keep a nuclear reactor open than they produce. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, it's called spent fuel pools. These nuclear bombs that are set up all over. I mean, Switzerland's going to vote on the 26th. They're done. Germany got it put together. They're fucking done. You know, it's over. Japan. Doctor runs for governor in a major province, one of the highest ranking offices in the world, wins. Says, no, out. Get out. Get out. The whole world's telling them, get out. You know, everybody's fighting, but not here. Not here in the United States. Usually we've lost our minds. Well, yeah, I mean, I named it right when I named it post-ignorance. And, you know, neo-Yoko, anti-neo-Yoko data, I think, is the most brilliant thing of all things. You know, black and yellow medium whores, Marie Antoinette, let them eat yellow cake, post-ignorance. I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, you know. But, you know, this is it, because the art movement, the establishment, really, Yoko Ono, she related to the Japanese royal family. He's got cancer and he's dying. Hello. Hello, hello, Fukushima, the ongoing greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. You know, because my work's so concrete, right down to the central line hanging out of me, flipping my cards. I'll be standing in front of there. I'll be at Times Square holding my signs, probably on the 2nd and the 3rd, you know. Hands up, don't nuke. You know, because that's where the fight's at. It's in New York City right now. And I'll tell you why, because of the bailout by Kumo, Como, Tomato, Snowden. I mean, this is a major fucking deal. They're over, and you know, Exelon, who propped up Marie Antoinette, let them eat yellow cake, that's who owns it. I mean, 3 Mile Island, how about 9 Mile Island? What's 3 times 3? 9 Mile Island. You know, so it's a big deal in New York. And then, of course, this historic election, I want to be in front of the White House that night, you know, when they crown Queen Hillary, or, you know, even if Trump, some miracle fucking wins, you know, whatever, it's still historic. But I voted for Robin Hood. I'm not participating in this globalist royal fucking machine. And I'll vote for either one of the cousins. So, this letter from John Lennon, wow, wow, wow. You know what I've said the whole time. Really? Yoko Ono is a diary. That was the day that he died. I did that really great piece right there where he was killed. By the way, Mark David Chapman and John Hinckley were together in Lebanon. It's a fact, you know. Well, think about, you know, Michael Jackson. You know, he stood up to the machine. How about Prince? My God, wow. Obama, holding little King George. What a team player he turned out to be. With the Queen on her 90th fucking birthday. I thought we threw the royals out of this country. I thought that we threw the monarchy a long time ago. You know, King George, I mean, the prison ships, I'll do some work there in Brooklyn. 11,500 people. They rounded up all of Brooklyn. You do know that in Brooklyn. They put them on prison ships as we're taking them to King George to try. Had, you know, bounties on the head. I could sing and dance. I could sing and dance. I'm Hamilton. What's a tariff? You know, I'm a fisherman. What's a boat? I'm a pipeline blocker. What's Fukushima? I'm an environmentalist. I'm an activist. I'm a fisherman. What's a boat? I'm a fucking carpenter. What's a hammer? I'm a butcher. What's a fucking cow? I'm fucking, you know, an activist fighting for human rights, fighting for the ecology. I'm an environmentalist. What's Fukushima? The greatest event in human history. Fukushima burned, just like I said, caused the drought, ripped holes in the fucking ozone, killed the fucking plankton. I walked and documented all this type of, and people can go in denial, whatever. 50 million people in California, not one of them can walk out, so I got to do it. You know, so I'll be back. I'll be back soon. And, you know, whether it's tomorrow in San Diego, we'll get video of it even if I'm not, but then we'll have, you know, the USS Reagan, because that's so major and so epic. I know what happened inside the Situation Room. I know exactly what happened. 32 freaking ships sent into Entomb, you know, Operation Friendship. It's going to blow this. I will quote John Edwards. You know, he's involved now, all these tort attorneys. Doesn't matter you think of these things. These guys are lining up for the money now. This will blow the Philip Morris freaking thing all to hell. Of course it will. What is the punitive damages for killing the Pacific Ocean? What is the punitive fucking damages for killing millions of people? What, you know, just military and United States personnel alone, 1.2 million in Japan. I mean, you can go along with the fucking cover up all you want, but I'm going to record fucking history and do this. These are major fucking times. So, you know, great opportunity for you in Southern California to go. You know, and hopefully I'll be there. If not, you know, we'll have video, and I'll get the video of our post-ignorance nation. You know, and because you know where my roots are. San Onofre, where I was born there in a cage in the Nevada test site. That fucking Special Forces Marine daddy of mine. Nuked to death. Then I get leukemia. You know, I was asked yesterday, point blank. I run into a girl, she says, "Oh my God, Kevin Blanch. I haven't seen you in 4 years. You remember me?" And I said, "Yeah." She says, "How do you remember me?" And I said, "Your brother died of leukemia." She says, Oh my God, Jeff. Holy fuck, you're alive? Yeah. Oh my God. My brother said you had one of the radicals, more hardcore kids. You had AML to know fucking... Yeah. How you... Whoa, what a fucking path. The fight is the life. You know, my place, San Diego County. I love that fucking place, by the way. And so, of course, I love Brooklyn too. I love New York. And yeah, if you can't tell how much I fucking love the ecology of my home, Utah. I mean, it makes me cry to think what we've done to it. And, you know, America drunk on ignorance and proud of it. Not me. Stand tuned. See you in San Diego maybe, but for sure in New York on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and in D.C. for the Million Mass March. All Million Mass Marchers, be aware of this. Be aware this is a big fucking deal. Remember the 5th of November. We do not forgive and we do not forget. It's important. Stand tuned.